When it comes to Aussie muscle, it doesn't get a whole lot bigger than this. The Ford Falcon GT and HSV GTS, the two most powerful cars ever produced in Australia. So which one gives the biggest bang? First, let's come clean. These two aren't a direct matchup. The GTS is the flagship of the HSV lineup and almost 100 grand worth of Holden's finest. The Ford is a limited edition special and is almost $20,000 more affordable, although some owners have been paying well into six figures because of the demand of what is the last ever Falcon GT. But the two cars are the fastest cars Ford and Holden have ever produced, which is why we're here today.
Ford claims to have eked a bit more power out of this one. But to be honest, it doesn't feel a whole lot different to the regular 335 kilowatt engine. Now that's no bad thing.
So under the bonnet, it's the same 5 litre supercharged V8 engine. But instead of 335 kilowatts of power, it's been up to 351. And if you chat to the engineers, they say that is a very conservative figure. On a good day, you'll get up to 404 kilowatts. No shortage of power though, and it's backed up by a pile of torque, 570 newton metres, so that in any gear, second, third or fourth, it goes like the clappers.
While you can tell it's a V8, a bit more of that beefy burble would be good. Instead you got a bit of the whining from the supercharger, although it does get up and go. So it's supposed to be a send-off model, a celebration of the Falcon GT. It just doesn't feel like that.
But it's inside where the Falcon feels really old and tired. It hasn't changed much in years and the equipment levels are fairly basic. So you'll be adjusting your seats manually and putting up with a little bit of a bland interior, but there are some unique touches to the GTF, like the GT orange stripes in the instrument cluster, and of course the all-important plaque that denotes this is the last ever GT. And the other thing that's pretty cool is the FPV button that gives you a G-force meter and some unique dials in the centre of the car.
The GTF does a lot right though. It's comfortable, there's always grunt wherever you need it across that rev range, it's big and spacious, and it handles surprisingly well.
The GTS is a pretty special feeling car. Even inside, the attention to detail is impressive. You've got reminders everywhere that this car's a bit different to your average Commodore, whether it's gauges or stitching or some of the trim material or even the fantastic EDI interface in the dash. It's that enhanced driver interface that's indicative of the technology HSV has injected into its top model. You can tailor everything from the suspension stiffness and exhaust sound to the stability control and even the steering feel. It's pretty clever technology and all included in what is a really advanced data monitoring system. But the draw card with the GTS is the engine. There's a mighty 6.2 litre supercharged V8 with a hefty 430 kilowatts of power, the most ever in an Australian made car. And it's the huge whack of torque, 740 newton metres, that gives it the awesome shove once you punch the accelerator. But the GTS isn't a one-trick pony. It's got huge brakes which pull it up amazingly well, and the 20-inch tyres grip phenomenally. It makes for an incredibly talented car on the right road. You know, 100 odd grand may seem like an awful lot of money for a Commodore, and it is. But when you compare this car with what it competes with on a performance front, it's actually a bargain. Expensive? Yep. Impressive? You betcha. This car is a lot of metal for the money. And ultimately, it's that attention to detail and that huge amount of stonk that makes the GTS the king of Australian muscle cars. So while it's the Falcon GTF, the final ever Falcon GT, that's making the biggest noise for now, on the road, it's the HSV GTS that makes by far the biggest bang.